Shuckalaka kapow. How's it going, old schoolers? You are so kicking it old school, Russell JS, and I am your host, Russell JS. As you can see, my hair is pulled back. I just got out of the shower just a few minutes ago, and I'm doing a load of laundry, so I got clean clothes for the rest of the week. Going into the weekend, I got yet another album, record album against record album, track versus track. And I'm going to do two albums by two great bands. The thing about these albums, they got a few good songs on them, but you know what? Each band, when it comes to these albums, they've done better. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, what's he going to do? I'm getting the book out right now. How about Black Sabbath, Never Say Die versus Kiss Dynasty? You wanted the best, you got the best, the hottest band in the world, Kiss. Now, the thing about Dynasty was the irony of it. Peter Criss, I think, played on one track off this album called, I think it was called not Hard Times, but I think it was called Dirty Livin'. And the irony of it was Gene and Paul decided, just to make Peter Criss feel happy, was they were going to go ahead and hire the producer from his solo record to produce the album. And, Peter Criss was kind of bombed out at the time because of the substance abuse and the alcohol. Him and Ace were partying it up. I mean, they were hanging out with the likes of people like John Belushi, and probably Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. But yeah, even the producer, Vinnie Poncier, I think his name was, ironically enough, he produced Peter Criss's solo album, and Peter was pleased with it. However, he went ahead, turned around, told Kiss, no, Peter can't. He's too wasted. His timing is off. He can't play on this record. But they did allow Peter to play on one song, probably the song that he wrote. I think, yeah, it was Dirty Livin'. And, the thing about Dynasty is Vinnie Poncier went with disco was huge back in the 70s, by the late 70s, and Casablanca had the likes of Donna Summer and the Village People and Kiss signed to their record label at the time. If you ever seen the movie Spinnin' Gold, check that bad Oscar out. Oh, by the way, speaking of movies, sometimes you kind of get tired of, streaming like Netflix, and you get tired of, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, all that bit. Well, I went to my public library, and I've been doing this for a while. When I see that the streaming services don't have the selection I'm looking for, because I like to decide what I watch, I go down to my local public library, and they don't have just educational videos and documentaries on history. I mean, they've got the real deal stuff that we all love. I mean, it's like the video store all over again, except you get them for free, unless, of course, you're a day or two late, hence you got to pay a fine. But man, they don't have, if you remember the video stores when you went in, they had the one shelf, the one rack where it was adventure and action, one area, comedy in another, horror another, drama, romance, documentaries, and then where they have the Nintendo game rentals as well. Well, here's the thing. They don't go based on a shelf of category. They put them all together on shelves in alphabetical order. I mean, look at this. See? Red Dawn and E.T. Red Dawn, the very first movie ever to get a PG-13 rating. And of course, the immortal classic, E.T. And also, for music, they got CDs there of all different categories as well. I mean, look at this. Prince 1999 and Red Hot Chili Peppers Greatest Hits. So yeah, if you want to get, I mean, I hope you still have your DVD players and your Blu-ray players. Go down to your public library, start checking out some movies. If you still got a CD player as well, check out some music. I mean, what can I say? I'm more for physical media than I am for streaming. And also, you'll notice while I do the video, I'll be drinking water. I usually drink sweet tea. But, I'm kind of somewhat getting into a health kick. And the funny thing about drinking water, just like drinking anything else, you get it keeps getting you thirstier and thirstier where you have to have more. And you keep drinking more and more and more until you gotta pee like a Russian racehorse. But at any rate, back to the Dynasty. So disco was big back in the late 70s. Everybody was going to the discotheques and Studio 54 and all that stuff. And what happened was Kiss needed something that, I mean, this album was supposed to be called The Return of Kiss. I mean, they did advertisements for it on TV, playing I Was Made for Loving You in the background. And they came out with the even flashier costumes, which Kiss themselves, Gene and Paul said that they looked like a bunch of Vegas showgirls. Well, I'll say this much. Maybe Paul, not so much Gene, Peter, and Ace. I mean, I thought Gene's costume was awesome. He looked more like an actual monster with a red cape, and Ace Frehley, he looked like a celestial spaceman. I mean, they actually looked really cool, if you ask me, and they had the color schemes of the color that would surround each of their faces on the solo records. And, it was pretty awesome. I mean, some of the music was kind of sappy, mediocre, and this is why I say both these bands, Black Sabbath and Kiss, had done better. So tonight I'm putting Dynasty and Black Sabbath Never Say Die. And funny thing is, Dynasty became a hit record in Australia. As a matter of fact, the Australians, they refer to this record as Dynasty. Can you imagine coming back from the record store? Somebody like Crocodile Dundee. Oh, good on, mate. Well, I'll see you at the record store there. So won't you go ahead and buy this time? Oh, the latest Kiss record called Dynasty. Oh, Dynasty, eh? How's it sound? Oh, no, I haven't paid it on me turntable. So, yeah, Dynasty is what the Australians say. And their own hometown boys, AC/DC, they call them Akdak. But without further ado, before we get into this, I want to remind you, if you're new to the channel, hit a like, subscribe, leave comments down in the box below, ring the bell for notifications, and tell your friends, your family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your brother, your sister, your pets. Help me get this channel going, man. I mean, like I said before, I still got a lot of things brewing in the pot, but I can't get to them right now because, I still, in my personal life, I still have some things going on with work and all. But without further ado, let's see how these bad Oscars rank, shall we? Now, in the comments section, don't get nasty with me or anything, I mean, we all have our own opinions. And you know what? I got my opinion and you got yours. If you think these albums are great, awesome. You think they suck? Cool. I mean, I just feel it's kind of 50-50 for me. I mean, like I said, again, both bands have done better. So without further ado, let's get this bad Oscar rolling, shall we? Okay, in the case of Never Say Die versus I Was Made for Loving You. I Was Made for Loving You sounds really great in concert, but I have to go with Never Say Die. Johnny Blade versus 2000 Man. Even though 2000 Man is a Stones cover, I love the way Ace, puts it, makes it his own song. And I love Johnny Blade, but I got to go with both of them. So they both get a point. Junior's Eyes versus Sure Know Something. Junior's Eyes is pretty good, but you know what? Yeah. I have to go with Sure Know Something. A Hard Road versus Dirty Livin'. I like A Hard Road, but you know what? Peter sounds awesome on Dirty Livin', so I'm giving the point to Kiss. And oh, you know what? Heck it, I'll give it to A Hard Road as well. You know what? I do like that song. Shockwave versus Charisma definitely goes to Charisma. Air Dance versus Magic Touch. I'm going with Magic Touch on this. Over to You versus Hard Times. You know what? Over to You sounds good, and I like Hard Times. Ooh, this stings, so if they're both getting a point. I feel guilty if I only give one of them a point. So good to drink water. You got to change it up once in a while. I usually drink the sweet tea, but you know what? I'm going with bottled water tonight. I think I've drank enough sweet tea, and I drank enough coffee and Monster Energy to get me going for the day as well. Let's see, where were we? All right, let's see. Over to You versus Hard Times. Over to You is okay, but I'm going with Hard Times. Breakout versus X-Ray Eyes. You know what? I'm feeling them both here. I really am feeling them both. So I'm going to give them each a point. Swinging the Chain versus Save Your Love. You know what? I've dissed Swinging the Chain before. So, and my sentiments still remain on it. So therefore, Save Your Love gets a point. And now here's the end result. Black Sabbath, Never Say Die with 5 points. And Kiss, Dynasty, mate, with 8 points. So you know what that means. There you have it right here. Dynasty wins, mate. That's right. We're going to go beyond Thunderdome. You all go at me about it? No, I'm kidding, man. But yes, Dynasty wins for Kiss. And it's, also Valentine's Day is a couple days away. So, guys, I hope you got something really great for your girls. And girls, I hope you really get something great for your guys. And all you couples out there, all you kicking it old school couples, I want to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. And, like I said, I got some things in the works. I got to find the time and money to do it because one of them may consist of traveling sometime in the upcoming future. I'm thinking about, I don't know, perhaps I'll go visit movie locations of some movies that were filmed here in Florida. Smokey, like Smokey and the Bandit 2 and 3 were filmed in Florida. Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise was filmed in Florida. Gone Fishing with Joe Pesci and Danny Glover. Caddyshack. And Bully were all filmed in Florida. Heck, there's a river outside of Ocala, okay, where you go ahead and do glass bottom riverboat tours, and there's filming locations for the classic Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'd love to do that too. But I'm still working. I'm still doing my thing. I'm making, preparations for videos. One video I can't wait to do, and I got to do my research on it before I make the video, if I got it written down yet already. Let's see here. Ah, yes, here it is. 2 albums that came out a year apart from one another. One album is by the second former lead singer of the band, and the other album is by the band itself with their third lead singer that only lasted about a year. I mean, he was pulled from one other band to join this one. Yep, here you have it. Sammy Hagar Marching to Mars versus Van Halen 3, or should I say Van Phalen 3. Yeah, that's right, because you know why that album failed. I mean, I think when it first dropped, I think it sold only like 300,000 copies, and I can remember within a few months it was, it was already in the bargain bin. They couldn't even give them away. I remember when I was reading, I went to Publix at that time. I think it was about March or April of 1998 when that album dropped. And you remember how Metal Edge magazine used to have the pull-out posters, that were all folded in fours, and they were double-sided? Well, here's the thing. I remember I pulled out the double-sided poster. One side of the poster was Pantera, and the other side was Van Phalen. And what side do you think I had out? Pantera. You betcha I did. I mean, what happened was after the turmoil where they did the best of package, where David Lee Roth did the 2 bonus tracks with them, David Lee Roth had put it out there that the original Van Halen was back, and Eddie didn't intend for that to happen because they were still under contract and they were still doing things with Sammy Hagar. And what happened was, like Sammy Hagar had found out about what happened, and, he was PO'd about it, and he already had some things going on. His wife was about to have a baby, and he quit the band. And then they just decided to oust David Lee Roth. I guess they were still under contract, where they had to put out another record and do a tour, all this other garbage. So they tried with Gary Cherone of Extreme, and it didn't work. And Van Halen went on a hiatus, I think, from that time until about 2003, 2004. And they came back with Sammy Hagar for a while, and they came out with the double disc set, The Best of Both Worlds. And I think that's when Wolfgang replaced Michael Anthony in the band as well. But without needless to say, Van Halen just went on hiatus. I mean, it was the worst thing that they ever did. But at any rate, that's going to do it for this video. Remember, you know what to do if you're new to the channel. And remember to keep kicking it old school, listen to old school music, play some old school video games, watch old school TV shows, watch old school movies. Keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it chill. You know the rest. Get you enough of love, get you enough of peace, get you enough of tranquility, joy, less chaos, no chaos, less drama, no drama. And remember, as I always wish you, Godspeed, may the force be with you always, and shaka-laka kapow!